Hello, I'm Sarah from Sutton Schoolswork. Welcome to our Assemblies online. Now, each week we're going to be bringing you a Bible story, a thought about what it means for Christians, a question or two for you to think about, and a fun activity for you to do as well. So are you sitting comfortably? Well, let's begin.
Hello there. Today we are thinking about changes. Now, things are constantly changing in our lives. The weather often changes every day, and especially across the seasons like summer and winter. You might change the password on your computer, maybe for safety. Maybe at home you change batteries or a light bulb when they wear out. Make sure you get an adult to help you with that one though. And I bet you change your clothes at least twice every day. Now, I think we need to start this week with a game. Have you ever played Spot the Difference? I'm going to show you some pictures, and your job is to spot what has changed each time. And beware, some of the changes will need you to be very eagle-eyed. Make sense? Okay then, here goes. How did you get on? Now, you might spot that a few other things during the course of this video might change. Now, we've all faced change a lot recently. Change can be a normal part of life, but sometimes change can be difficult. School at the moment has changed. Home life has changed. The way we keep in touch with friends and family has changed. Now, change can be a good thing.
We might move home to somewhere we like more.
We might make a new friend. We might start a new school, especially if you're in year 6 at the moment. Today, we're going to hear a Bible story about a man who changes very dramatically after he meets someone special. So if you're sitting comfortably, let's have a listen and find out what happened.
There once was a man who didn't have any friends. Do you have friends? Well, of course you do, but not Zacchaeus. Poor Zacchaeus didn't have any. You're probably wondering why. Was it because he was so short? That's not a reason to not like someone. Was it because he had a name that was hard to say? Well, neither is that. Even though he was short, and he did have a funny name, that wasn't it. No, people didn't like Zacchaeus because he was mean. The meanest guy you've ever seen. You see, Zacchaeus stole people's money. Zacchaeus collected taxes. Taxes were what people had to pay the king. But Zacchaeus took more than he was supposed to and kept the extra money for himself and made himself rich. Zacchaeus was really mean, the meanest guy you've ever seen. Everyone knew what he was up to, and it made them cross and grumpy. They didn't like Zacchaeus one bit, so they made sure he knew it by doing things like avoiding him, pretending they didn't see him, and whispering loudly to each other, "Hey, there's Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is mean, the meanest guy you've ever seen." One day, a huge crowd gathered by the road. Jesus was coming to their town and everyone wanted to see him. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus too, but everyone was too tall. He tried jumping up and down, but that didn't work. He couldn't see a thing. Luckily, Zacchaeus had a good idea. "I'll climb that sycamore tree," he said. So he did. He was surprisingly good at climbing trees. For a man who was so unusually short, he had to take a flying leap just to get into his chair in the morning. From the tree, Zacchaeus had the perfect view all the way down the road. Another minute, and suddenly Jesus was at the tree. Zacchaeus saw Jesus, and Jesus saw Zacchaeus. "Zacchaeus," Jesus said, "I'd like to come over to your house." Oh, well, Zacchaeus almost fell out of the tree. Come over to his house? No one ever wanted to come anywhere near his house, let alone inside it. The people saw this, and needless to say, it made them even crosser and grumpier than usual. They mumbled and murmured and muttered. "Why is Jesus being kind to him? Doesn't Jesus know about him? Zacchaeus is mean, the meanest guy you've ever seen." Zacchaeus scrambled down and took Jesus to his house. He was in a big hurry because he didn't want Jesus to change his mind. Perhaps Jesus hadn't heard about him. Perhaps Jesus didn't know about how he'd been stealing, how no one liked him, how he didn't have any friends, and how he was mean, the meanest guy you've ever seen. But Jesus did know. He knew all about Zacchaeus and the stealing and everything, and he still loved him. Zacchaeus was ashamed. "Lord," he said, turning pale, "what I've done is wrong, but now I want to do the right thing. I will give the money back to everyone, 4 times what I stole." And that's just what he did. Jesus smiled. "My friend," he said, "today God has rescued you." And just like that, Zacchaeus was no longer the meanest guy you've ever seen.
So, Zacchaeus wasn't the nicest of people, and he wasn't very popular. But Jesus loved Zacchaeus, even when nobody else did. Jesus was Zacchaeus' friend, even when nobody else was. And Jesus was willing to forgive Zacchaeus for all the mean things he had done and give him another chance, even though nobody else would. Sometimes we might be a bit like Zacchaeus. We might do something that we know we shouldn't do, or be mean to somebody else and regret it afterwards.
Christians believe that even when they do something wrong, God still loves them. He forgives them when they say sorry and helps them to change, giving them another chance to be the best people they can be.
So let's have a think about today's story. Every week we do that by asking you 3 questions about it. You probably know the drill. Pause the video after each question. Have a think about how you might answer it. Maybe write your thoughts down, or if you're lucky enough to have an adult handy you can talk to, you can do that as well.
Question number 1. What sort of person was Zacchaeus at the beginning of the story? Question number 2. How did Zacchaeus change after meeting Jesus? And question number 3. How would you like to change to be the best person you can be?
Now, we've got a crafty activity for you to try to help you think about changes positively. Now, there's a few items you will need to do this craft. A piece of paper, a pair of scissors and a pencil, some paints, and a few paintbrushes. So first of all, take your piece of paper and fold it in half along the short side. Now, take a pencil and draw half of a butterfly onto your page. Make sure that the body of your butterfly is on the half next to the fold. Don't worry if you find it difficult, because we've included a template with this YouTube video. Once you've finished, cut out around your design, and then when you open it out, you should have a beautiful butterfly design.
Now use a range of coloured paints to make a pattern of paint blobs on one side of the paper. When you're happy with the design you've created, carefully fold the paper together again and press down. Slowly and carefully open up the butterfly and you'll discover that your beautiful pack is now on both sides of the page. Leave your butterfly to dry, and if you're feeling creative, you could even make it a few butterfly friends as well.
Remember, we never get everything right, but the great thing is that every day is a new chance for us to change, to say sorry, to try again if we got something wrong, to be nicer if we were mean, to be honest if we said something that wasn't true, and to try to be the best possible people that we can be. I expect you saw how our letters have changed. Why don't you have a go at changing something you do for the better today? We hope you enjoyed today's assembly. Thank you for joining us. That's all for now. We hope to see you all again next week for another assembly then. Bye for now.